Hi everybody, good evening. My name is Alan, and on behalf of my co-host Estancia, I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Bridging Heaven and Earth. And I know we've had, if you turned into the show when it's showing originally at 9:30 at night, we've all had long days, and some things happened that were really beautiful, and some things happened that maybe weren't so beautiful. But this is an opportunity to have an hour where we certainly plan to have really beautiful things happening. We have August Stahr with us, who's a healer and an author, and she has just incredible information to share with us. And we met before. She's really a beautiful person with wonderful energy. So that'll be a nice experience for us all, I hope, and I'm sure it will be. And we also have Liquid Gardens by Levi Chen, who's going to play some incredible instruments. I've seen him set up, and I've heard his tapes, and they're really wonderful. And dancing one number with Liquid Gardens by Levi is Inga, who's a modern dancer. So it should be a really wonderful show. So whatever happened to you today, just cool out, enjoy yourself, and sit in for an hour, and I think you'll have a wonderful experience. So as we usually do at this time, Estancia leads us in a short meditation and does an invocation to set the tone for the show. So, Estancia?
Thank you. And so join with me now as we move into our heart center, and ask that the mind follow the heart tonight. And we come before Mother, Father, God, not as beggars, but as sons and daughters. And we ask to be blessed tonight with just an opening of the heart, with a deepening of our understanding, of our love, and of our power as God beings expressing ourselves on the earth. And we ask to come into a fullness now, this night and forevermore with each breath, a fullness of our full spiritual presence on the earth and our full physical presence on the earth as we are merging heaven and earth. We call forth now for the energies of the archangels to come and be with us and join with us and lift us as we lift the earth. We make the call from the earth to the higher dimensions to link with us, our brothers and sisters, in all dimensions and all times. And we ask that there be a great gathering now among all the parts of ourselves as well, as we approach the homecoming, what I call the in-breath of God. And we call to our own higher selves now, asking to sit firmly in that place of knowingness. We call to our I Am presence and ask that presence come and anchor in our hearts fully now. I and the Father are one. I and the Mother are one. Let this be our knowingness. Let this be what we walk and what we talk and how we approach our days and our breaths. We call to the Ascended Masters and ask for their radiance in this room, in our hearts, wherever you are. We ask for the love of Sananda this night to break open our hearts, to just let that love permeate and let his touch be upon our hearts so that we can feel it. We ask for the protection of Michael. And we ask for the blessings of the great Elohim, the creators of our worlds, of all the worlds, as we create the world in which we live here on earth. And tonight we also ask for the love and the presence, divine presence, of those light beings known as the Ashtar Command. We ask them to come and be with us, and I know they are already here, to come and be with us and lift us and link with us. And we call now also to the devas within our own selves, as we, in this time of transformation, approach that time when we are lifting ourselves, our very selves, transmuting them and lifting matter into light. We ask for the forgiveness energies to just flow and open up. This is a time for forgiving. It is forgiving. We ask that all the judgments and all the memories of our souls be now transmuted, blessed, and released, so that we can come into wholeness. And so let us all join heart to heart and soul to soul, sitting firmly in the highest part of ourselves that we have yet known, and asking to be with this part of us, this presence of love within us, to be the love that we are tonight, this hour, and always, forevermore. And so now we get ready to go into a short meditation. We send our light down into the earth, connecting with the crystal there. The crystal that is the consciousness of the great central sun within our earth. And we send our light up into the heavens, as above, so below, linking with both. And we send our light all around us, to our sisterhoods and brotherhoods of light all around, and to all our incarnations, past, present, future, on all dimensions and all times. We are love. Now let us move now into the silence, connecting even deeper with our beloved ones and our beloved selves. Thank you. So here we are on another wonderful night, and we have with us a man who will introduce himself because he knows himself best of all. And when we're ready, we will go right to our beautiful musician, Levi Chen, Liquid Gardens. When you're ready.
Good evening. My name is Levi, and I'd like to welcome you all to Liquid Gardens. Liquid Gardens. Gardens being a place where things grow. Our bodies are liquid gardens, would be a good example. Mother Earth. Wow, that was lovely.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. That was really
Oh,
beautiful.
Really. Anyway, I am really excited because I'm sitting here with Stahr, Commander Stahr, over here on my left, and pretty soon she'll be in the monitor. I promise she's here. Anyway, she has written many books. I've read one. We've been working together for the last 2 weeks unexpectedly, and she's really helped me a lot, and I'm just honored. I really am really thrilled that you're here with us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here as well.
So maybe one of the things I like to do is I like to get the people a little understanding of how you started. Just if you could, your humble beginnings or something.
Okay, so I'm talking to you. Okay.
Yeah. So just maybe you could just talk to me or the audience or however you feel comfortable, and just explain how when you were your awakening, and just like how it kind of brought you to where you are now in your process?
Well, I think that my own awakening process is very similar to most light workers. We kind of stumble along on the path until we go to different places that we're led by Spirit, and take different trainings, and get ourselves prepared for who knows what. And at some point, Spirit lets us know what it is that we're supposed to be doing. In my own case, I did also have a very dramatic awakening it was the summer of '91, just before the 11/11 doorway opened in January of '92.
Right.
And I had a visit from a very wonderful channel friend of mine at that time, and she did a reading for me. And it was also during the time of the solar eclipse, and I went through what was called a future self overlay activation. And since that time, I've kind of been in a higher elevated state, and I became more fully aware of myself as Commander August Stahr.
Was that your name, or did you take that name on when you had this overlay?
Actually, the name change came in around 1986, and it's kind of the Earth version of the higher self name, which is Augustavia. It's a more fuller version.
When you say overlay, what do you mean? Not everybody's familiar with Wisconsin.
I'm talking about your future self or your higher self. Most people are familiar with the term higher self. Your future self is also part of that higher self. It's the vaster part of your being. And as you move, as you clear out more and more within your lower self personality, you have a merger with the higher self, and that is called your future self. So it's kind of a collection of different selves that are operating kind of simultaneously, and collectively they make up the higher, presence of yourself.
So you had a more distinct experience of that?
Yes, I did.
Right.
Prior to that, I was always on a metaphysical path, and I had taken, life trainings and teachings and that sort of thing. And only recently, as a matter of fact, when I was, speaking with Wisconsin, did I really kind of understand the true significance of that. Because for the last several years, I've been helping people go through, karmic clearing processes and coming more into their own as well. And I didn't fully understand why I was different than they were. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I would take them to certain levels, and yet there were still certain things, when people would begin to channel, that a lot of times their channeling didn't have the same kind of quality or the same kind of clarity that I was used to. And that is one of the areas that I'm going to be working in quite a bit more is working with helping people to open up and channel. I personally channel all the time because I've gone through this merger. So it's not like I shift personalities.
Right.
It's more the more that you clear out.
You are your higher self.
I am, well, not quite my higher self, but almost. I'm more of my higher self than most people are aware of. It's also merging with what they call the Christ consciousness. So that when you tap into that place within yourself, that's where your healing ability comes from, and that's where your power and your ability to tap into the other dimensions is there as well. So it's not it's not a personality per se, it's more of the vaster part of me.
When you had this merge, I'm just curious because I've had a few merges too, and the way it happened with me was like almost like a golden globes of light that kept. It always happened at night. It happened about 3 or 4 times, and it came like it was something I was looking at, and then it came and actually like just rained all over me and like walked into me.
Right.
And it was so much love. It was just so pure and so much love that I immediately gave myself to it, and it's like it was a being or a part of me. Was it like that at all?
There is a continuing, ongoing process of collecting those aspects of yourself to merge back into your core presence. This instance that I'm talking about was so dramatic that I've never felt the same since, and it stayed there.
Right.
It's like I felt like my IQ literally went up several notches. I was like,
vocabulary too.
my vocabulary changes, and even the gal that edits my book, she tells me that I use, I kind of language old-fashioned is the way she said it. But there's a rhythm and there's a rhythm to the way that I speak. Like when you do your invocations, it's the same thing. There's a rhythm to that, and we are kind of using more old-fashioned kind of speech, or more of the, if you talk with the Ascended Masters in the command, they talk a little funny. It's kind of obvious they're not around these parts.
Right. And each one has their own little signature too, and that's what's so fun, because I know when I do my invocations, I've heard a lot of people do invocations, and none of us do it the same way. You can't.
Actually, yours was pretty close to mine. I really enjoyed yours. Yes.
Oh, we're wearing the same colors, and really, I feel like you're my sister or something. Long lost sister. Anyway, do you have any tips or any kind of message or something you can tell the audience out in TV land, and because we don't know where this show is going to be ending up, of how they could maybe bring about a quickening of their merge?
That is, like I said, right. I really don't have a tip for them right now, in as far as that goes.
Maybe even asking for it.
Well, that is part of it. You have to state your intent. Your intention needs to be on your full ascension process, and asking for that will help. There is also a lot of clearing work that is done, that facilitates that as well. That's what I work on. I've kind of like worked in one area, and then my work, I'm sure your work does the same thing, kind of continues to change and grow. And when you work with the clearing, which is what I've done, the side effect of that is that you have a merging with the higher self. And there is a technique that I usually share with people, that work with me during sessions, which is a collecting of their aspects. So this, what you were talking about, having this part of you come back and join with you and merge with you. What happens during that process is that it usually will bring the memories and the talents and the the power that you had in that particular aspect. It kind of merges, together.
Exciting. This is a real exciting time to be in. So let's get into the Ashtar Command.
Okay.
You work with the command,
right? And
I don't know when I introduced you if I said Commander August Stahr, but you are called Commander August Stahr, and I know there's people who want to know what that means.
Okay.
And commander of what, and what is it? Where are these ships? And tell us about it.
Okay. First of all, the term commander means at your command, or at God's command. Okay. Invoking, commanding the energies. Okay, that is a designation of a commander within the Ashtar Command. The Ashtar Command itself is an etheric, it's an etheric group that works in conjunction with the spiritual hierarchy, the Great White Brotherhood. They're the extraterrestrial aspect of that. So, they're the friendly, space brothers, very much like Star Trek. We probably have a lot of Trekkies out there in the audience. And the Ashtar Command is very much like that. It was inspired, based on that the Ashtar Command has been here, since the very beginning of time, to kind of assist. Their purpose is more of a protective role, and they play a very major role during the time of the planetary ascension in terms of protecting what they call the ground personnel. And that's part of what my role is about. My particular division that I work with, which is called the Star-Esseenia division, which is after the name of my higher self, we're the healing division, and kind of like research and development for...
The Red Cross of Earth?
Not quite. We're actually more like research, like
research and development.
Research and development, like advanced technologies. I bring through a lot of new kind of techniques that have not been used before. And
Ascension techniques, growth techniques.
Ascension techniques, clearing techniques, that sort of thing. And the people that I work with are all part of, the group that I came here with. And so I use those techniques and that technology to awaken them back to, their full presence of who they are.
Wow. So how would somebody approach if they wanted to get in touch with the Ashtar Command? Is there something that just everyone out there could do to just calling on them and just asking for them?
Right. The Ashtar Command is really very easy to get in touch with. If you put your hand up, I'll show you. to ask for a signal, go ahead, Alan, put your hand up. Just request it. Just say, I now call upon the Ashtar Command to give me your energetic signal. Usually, just...
I now call upon the Ashtar Command to give me my energetic signal.
To let me know that you're here. And you should feel a light presence, kind of going in a circular motion, clockwise circular motion on the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
And what that signifies is that you've tuned into the channel. See, the command is always talking, and they're sending out communication to, the people that are here. And
is it a tingling sensation?
It's a warm tingling sensation in the palm of your hand.
You got it.
Yeah,
our audience is sitting there with their hands. It's so beautiful.
Right. So,
and I'm sweating too, so they got through the sweaty.
Yeah. So once you have that signal, then you can, request, what's newest on the hotline, so to speak. Because what happens is the Ashtar Command is transmitting information all the time to its ground personnel that are here. We're all, we're in physical embodiment.
So they're like the psychic internet.
Yeah, kind of.
You must be stupid to say that.
Well, the thing about it is
call them something.
You gotta defy them. That's as good.
The thing about it is that we're part of it. I mean, I'm a physical embodiment of my higher self that's here on, the earth plane. And I'm sure that, you're part of this and you're part of this as well. It's just awakening to that fact that we are part of this galactic Peace Corps. And because we are part of that galactic Peace Corps, they communicate with their people that are, part of it through subconscious telepathic communication. And then those that, learn how to communicate with them, more directly, open up and receive, through either meditation or through channeling, more direct communications. But once a person is aware that that's who they are, it's just a matter of opening up through their meditation and asking to receive, and then you're kind of guided on your path. And
is everybody a member of the Ashtar Command, or some other people have other jobs?
No. There is, some people are from the angelic realms. I work with both. My origins are angelic, but I also work with people that have the extraterrestrial consciousness as well.
What are the other choices? I don't think I'm
I don't know.
So I'm trying to find
I kind of specialize.
What is the other choices? Help us.
Well, I mean, there are.
Maybe you can tell him what
The light workers. Okay, well, if you want me to check on you, I will.
Yeah, let's find out where Alan's from.
Which planet is he from?
Right here and now.
Yeah.
What a night to remember.
Okay, I got it.
Do you want to share it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not pornographic. It's not, we could put this out over the airwaves.
Right.
Go ahead.
As I was telling you, the Star-Esseenia division is the healing division, and so we work with different types of healing technology. There's another division which is called the Corton division, which is communications, and that's what you are. I mean, you're doing this TV show, you're a communicator. I'm sure there's other forms of communication that you've done before this.
You write screenplays.
You write? Okay. The Corton people are really very interesting. They are very closely aligned with the Star-Esseenia division because they get our message out there. I'm here on your show and, helping get the message out there. This gentleman probably over here, I would say, and the dancer as well, probably the same thing, because they communicate through their music, they communicate through their presence, through her dance, through her art, the presence of who you are. You're more, and if you're going to be doing a screenplay, then you're going to be giving a concept. The concepts that I work with are very abstract, okay? You would take that abstract concept and give it a mass media.
Would I understand it?
Yeah.
I probably would.
Yeah. I mean, if you get it as some kind of a concept, and then you translate it into something visual that everybody can understand. Whereas, the work that I do, people come, they're kind of, a little more selective. Not everybody, would be drawn, but you can take the simple idea of like working with the Ashtar Command. Look what they did with Star Trek. They made it a very popular phenomenon. And yet the people that are drawn to that TV program are really Ashtar Command personnel.
I think they're calling us the Ashtar Command. We're having sounds here that we've never had on the show before. So, and actually, it's interesting. I think I was telling you earlier. The electricity in my house went out twice. 2 cars in my driveway, both the batteries went dead. I only left the lights on one, so I don't know what happened with the other. So there's been an incredible day, and I can hear this like resonance in the background. So maybe now that we're hearing the resonance, are we ready to do Levi's second song, Liquid Gardens by Levi Chen? Are we ready? All right, so whenever you guys are ready, we'll have the second song. So it should be beautiful, so I hope you enjoy it.
Welcome back.
That was lovely.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
beautiful.
very beautiful. I wanted to thank Inga for dancing. It was really lovely. And also mention that Liquid Gardens, Levi Chen with Liquid Gardens, they have several CDs and music, and if you really love it and want to get more information, just call the studio and get in touch with Alan or myself, and we'll put you in touch with how to get.
There's a number that scrolls at the end of the show, and you can see it's a 687-2053 number, so you can call and I'll give you whatever information. Also, August has books and tapes that if you're interested, you could find that out too. So
here we are back, and now it's time for a planetary ascension update. And just maybe you could just briefly describe how you just get the information. You just get it through transmissions, and maybe you could tell us what's going on now with the ascension process.
Well, currently with the ascension process, I'm not sure how familiar your audience is with, the 1111, but I work with, the original date, which was January 11th of 1992. And what's been happening since that time is we've been moving through kind of like step gates that are, we're moving through different levels of frequency. And, the planet herself is going through these different levels of clearing. And each time she clears out a certain particular issue within herself, she transmits out to the rest of us, and then it triggers that clearing within ourselves as well. So the beginning started with the root chakra and issues about survival and issues about sexuality. And then in June of 1993, we started receiving transmissions about clearing out of relationship issues. Okay? And in September of last year, it was 1995, I met, my twin flame, and I got married in July of 1995. And when we got together, we were told that it was going to be a very powerful combination. And within a month of the time that we got married, he and I, my twin flame and I, opened up an etheric gate, which was called the third gate. And this gate relates to the third chakra and, personal power issues. And so that happened August 23rd of 1995. So the issues that are seeming to come up now have to do with people's trusting, the guidance that they're receiving, trusting that they are, in fact, who they think they are, or who they, might think that they are, and moving into that time of empowerment for themselves. So that's basically what we're going to be doing for about the next 2 years, is moving through personal power issues, continue with relationship issues, and also continue with abundance and survival kind of issues. The next gate after that, which is not due until 1997, will be with the heart chakra. And that one will be very interesting because it will show people who they truly are at the heart level. It'll show people's true intent and who they truly are. And in the meantime, what we need to do as light workers, I think we're falling down back here. What we need to do is to use discernment in terms of who it is that we're listening to, what channels that we're listening to, what communications that we're allowing to come into our consciousness. When this next gate opens, the fourth gate, it will be a mirror. And some people will be very shocked to find out that they're not really who they think they are.
And others.
Wait, what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, essentially, like I said, we've been moving through these different gates, and each time we move through these gates, different issues come up for clearing. When we get to the level of clearing the heart, people will be revealed for who they truly are, whether or not they are truly light workers at the soul level, or whether or not they have been masquerading as light workers and
consciously or unconsciously?
Both. Most people that are masquerading really know they are. They may not know it in those terms or in that language, but at their innermost selves, if they were to ask themselves who they truly are, they know who they serve. And
are there like two energies to serve? Are you talking about light or dark?
I'm talking about light and dark.
Those are the only two energies to serve.
Right.
There are some people who serve dark energies and some people who serve light energies.
Right, exactly. And when this next gate opens, the truth about who people are will be more fully revealed.
That's
Not
in
just-
97?
That's in 97. That's the information that I'm receiving right now. Of course, that is always subject to update, you know, as we move through, you know, the timetables change. This gate that...
So it'll just be made more obvious to more people?
Right.
And how do you think it will be made obvious?
Well, it's
Is
just...
it obvious now to you?
Yes,
Yes,
yes. But to go ahead and answer that first question, you know, how is it that you find out about, you know, like recently we had a big expose in our judicial system because of the Simpson case,
Right.
okay? It was made obvious that our system is not working anymore, okay? It kind of fell apart. Just like religions have been falling apart and the government's falling apart and all these different areas that the light is being shined on is kind of crumbling because it's not holding up to the truth and the light. It's the same thing with people. When you shine light on people, if that is truly who they serve, they'll revel in it and they'll grow in it and they'll shine in it. If they aren't, they'll kind of look away because they're really not serving the light. You know, it's a different kind of an energy. And all of us are returning to the light. There is only one, you know, one place for all of us to be, and that is a unification, you know, the heaven on earth, that concept of returning to the one and being part of the one energy.
What happens if that's true, what happens to people who are serving the let's say, the dark energy?
Okay.
They have to go through a process to start...
Most people think that the ascension is a black and white situation. You either ascend and reunite heaven on earth, or you are, you know, going into the pit somewhere. Really what's happening is more of an elevated or of a sorting out of vibrations. And you will basically wind up being in a reality according to your frequency, according to your soul's development, which has always been the case. So what's happening now that's different is that it's happening like all at once. It's happening in a very short period of time rather than people evolving according to their soul's development and being able to take thousands of years or however many lifetimes for them to do that. The timetable is being called and it's being sped up. So say, for instance, that we had 5 years left, okay? And there's a little bit more time.
Left to what?
Until this change occurs, okay?
A mass ascension.
During that time period, people will decide to leave the planet. They'll die, and rather than like hanging out in the astral realm waiting to reincarnate into another body, they will incarnate into a totally different planetary system altogether. So they're leaving constantly. People are leaving all the time.
And why would somebody choose to do that?
To not ascend, you mean? Because they haven't yet reached a level where they're willing to accept the light. They still, you know, are more comfortable where they're at.
Why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, I couldn't conceive of choosing anything but, you know, being unified with the light. But, you know, some people do and some people are. But, you know.
Would you say those people, in a sense, are disabled?
Disabled.
To feel disabled to, because I mean there is only one source, and
Right.
so in some way they are.
Yeah, how could they be
just they are not able to actually connect and see
Right. They can't.
see where they're not able to go into their homecoming.
Right.
You know, it's like they're
Right.
fighting the in-breath almost. They're stepping off from. Don't you think?
Right.
Because they're really still from the same place, and so the union, hopefully the union
underneath it, it's light.
So are
But
they
there's-
evolving on these other places where they're going?
Yeah, they will be given the opportunity to continue to evolve at their slower pace. There was a
Why does one person go? See, I don't understand
Okay.
it. I mean, why does one person
everybody on the
grow
planet
faster than another person?
everybody that's on the planet at this particular time, we've been here for the last 26,000 years, okay? We have, all of us, either served light or served darkness from the beginning.
Why?
Because that was part of the game that we agreed to play when we came down here.
So we were all the same at some point, and
Yes.
some of us decided,
Yes.
we'll serve the darkness as part of the game. Did we forget we served the darkness?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so we knew it was a game and we chose.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so
then it
now
evolved over time.
now the opportunity is being given to return back to the original light, okay? of like giving up that role. It's like, you know, it's like a play.
And so people have forgotten that the light is better than the dark, or they like the dark. Why would somebody choose darkness rather than light?
Because they don't know any better.
But they do it at one time, right?
Okay.
They doed it. They doed when they started.
They forgot how to talk.
They doed it and they forgot. I mean, what?
Yeah, well, they did forget. But see, when you're not connected, it's very hard for you to see where the connection point is.
See, I just don't understand why one person is connected and one isn't. See, it seems like an interesting...
Because they have chosen at a soul level to experience what it's like to not be connected. And
why would somebody choose that and somebody else not?
Why would somebody else choose that and why? I don't know. I haven't got the foggiest idea. I just know that it was done.
It was done.
Yeah.
Somebody would choose. No, it's always interesting to me to keep taking it back. I mean, I'm not trying to be, particularly annoying, although maybe it's coming across like that.
No.
But I mean, to me, it's an interesting question to me, you know, because, you know, we all came from the same source. We're all brothers and sisters in that way. And serving the light and serving the darkness is all, on some level, it's like a game of ludicrous to me.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, on some level. You know, it's like Bruce Willis is an actor and Jeremy Irons is an actor.
Right.
And one is serving, you know, in this movie.
Right.
Right. So, but they all came like from SAG or something.
Okay, but during that time that they played out that role, they learned a lot from that role. Okay, and when it comes to them actually dropping, you know, the costume and dropping the role, it's not as easy as they thought it was going to be. So some of those people are having a little bit more trouble getting back to where they started from than others.
It's like they're going home and they're doing karate in their house. It's really just their...
Well, you know, as all of us are going through cleansing processes. The Earth is going through a cleansing, and everything that has ever been dysfunctional on this planet is being corrected, including the people and the roles that they've played. Okay, so everybody's being given the opportunity to re-choose, but it has to be done on a conscious level. It's not something that's like automatically done. It's not something that is, okay, the game's over, everybody come home. It still has to be like a choice to come back home.
So were they at a disadvantage originally choosing to play the darkness? Was Jeremy Irons, say, was Jeremy he played in this movie Die Hard Part 92 or something, and Bruce Willis was the good guy and he was the bad guy.
Okay.
So he chose it.
Right.
Is that like a bad career choice for him?
I'm glad I didn't choose it.
Well, I mean, was somebody choosing it like to serve God's function as having the duality on earth?
Yes.
So why would God make it difficult for these people to come back and the other people would be easy because they never left the darkness?
Everybody picked up a certain amount of darkness.
Seems like it.
Yeah, they have. I mean,
Right, okay.
We're all overcoming so much.
Yeah.
Okay, but it seems like, you know, if you chose one to serve God, right? To serve God in His play.
Right. Yes.
That you would put at a tremendous disadvantage. Is that so?
Actually, I think it's probably more like, you know, those that are the bigger and the stronger, you know, take on the juicier parts.
So the bigger.
And they took on a little more than they could chew, and maybe they didn't realize. They identified with it, and so now, as we're being called back in, and they're being given the choice, some of them are not yet ready to make that choice. Yeah.
It's like, hey, I want to
Something
continue
about
on
it
this.
doesn't compute to me, but, you know, I mean, I don't know whether it's just that I don't understand it or if you keep going back steps, it doesn't compute exactly that way. I mean, you would say that I don't understand, but, you know, it's just an interesting question to me. I mean, it comes up in a lot of different ways.
Right. Well,
you know, when you break off, you know, because some people have, in terms of free will, you know, how does some person break off and free will choose to do stupid things and build up bad karma, or another person break off and choose to do good things and not get bad karma?
But everybody has their free choice. So each individual is making that choice, and they make that choice.
At what point?
And they make that choice based on what they themselves are willing and wanting to experience. So I don't know whether or not everybody was given a game plan of you know, if nobody had a computer and said, okay, well, if we did these programs over here, this is what's going to happen. I think, you know, souls evolve continually, and they make choices continually, and they create realities based on those choices continually. So as you kind of again, we were talking about the fragmented selves. As you regather those fragmented selves to come back in to unify with your central core, you have all of these different aspects that learn some of the negativities and some of the negative ways. And so it's a, it is a reunification process. Mm-hmm. What is going to happen specifically to the people that don't quite make that? I don't know. All I know is that the ones that are making the choice for the heaven on earth, that this planet and the people that make that choice will transform this planet into a heaven on earth.
Like Garden of Eden.
And there will be several other possibilities for people to explore other places, other ways.
Well, it's interesting because I'm sure that we'll have a lot of calls about this, because I would like to explore this with you further. Okay. And maybe I'll get the chance after, but the people who are watching probably won't, because basically we're down to 30 seconds.
So do you have a last message for humanity that you would like to just share?
Yeah, choose light.
Camera.
Choose light. Simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choose light. The time is now. I would just like to say that there's many opportunities for people to choose that light, and to continually each and every moment you choose that light. And as you reunify with that that core essence of yourself, those negativities within yourself will also come up for clearing. So that process is an ongoing, continuing process, and will continue until the year 2011, when hopefully the doorway will close and we will have transformed heaven on earth.
Hallelujah.
Amen to that. So thanks so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Really, I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Very, very, very much. And thank you all for watching. Just live in your heart. Be the love you are. God bless you all.
And also, if there's any questions or comments or anything like that, please call with Stancia or I. You can reach us at 687-2053. We'd love to hear your comments and calls, and I'm sure that with all the comments and calls we get, maybe August will be able to come back with us at some point, and we can explore some other of these issues, because I know it's interesting to me and important to me. So thank you and good night.